Hi, my name is Catherine Smith. I'm the Manager of Holistic Financial Solutions. I'm here today to talk to you about why Rockhampton. Why I feel that Rockhampton is a wonderful investment opportunity right at the moment in August 2013. So a little bit about myself. I've got a number of degrees and diplomas, in particular a diploma in financial planning, diploma of mortgage broking, diploma of real estate. I'm also a Justice of Peace. I'm also a public accountant and tax agent and fellow of the National Tax Agents Association. Even more, an SMSF specialist and a wealth coach. But I think most important of all that is that I'm a passionate property investor and have been for over 20 years. I've been following the market ever since I was 17 and bought my first property at the age of 17 as well. I'm a member of the PIAA and the PIPA, which are both basically property advisor in industry associations. So where is Rockhampton? It's right in the, well, not in the middle, but it's in between Gladstone and Mackay, above Brisbane, above Sunshine Coast. The most important thing to note about that is that it's in the centre of the whole mining sector there in southeast Queensland. It's not far from Gladstone, about 40-45 minutes by car. The important thing about that is that Gladstone property prices have basically skyrocketed, and Mackay is definitely doing that as well. Rockhampton, on the other hand, hasn't gone up so quickly, and a lot of people are living in Rockhampton and commuting to Gladstone for affordability reasons. A little bit more about Rockhampton. It's situated on the Fitzroy River. It's about 600 kilometres north of Brisbane, easily accessed by a network of rail, road, sea and air. It's an 8-hour drive from Brisbane, a 1-hour flight. There are 4 major roads servicing Rockhampton, and the region boasts one of the best subtropical climates in Australia, as you'll see from the photos throughout this presentation. It's home to 2 of the world's biggest coal mining areas, the Bowen and the Surrey basins. Rockhampton acts as the capital of central Queensland, housing many government departments. There are also 41 primary schools, 9 secondary schools and 5 of both. In addition, there's 2,000 tertiary students enrolled at the Rockhampton campus of CQ University, making it the second largest CQ campus by student number in the country, after Sydney. So what does all that mean? Basically it means that Rockhampton, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. First time I went to Rockhampton, I just flew through and spent literally a half a day there, and I thought, what a quiet little sleepy town. Next time I went back, I actually spent 5 days there, and I was amazed by the number of schools, churches, businesses, etc. The picture here is the girls' grammar school, which was absolutely beautiful. Moving on, Rockhampton has generated in excess of $5.2 billion in economic value last year. It's one of the fastest growing economies in Queensland itself. CSG and coal projects are expected to export over $125 billion per annum once these major projects come online in the next 3 to 5 years. Rockhampton is a major regional service that supports over 8,000 businesses, and only 2.5% of the local workforce live outside Rockhampton. The relevance of that is that it's not a fly-in, fly-out location. People actually like to live in Rockhampton. There's a very diverse economy, which I'll talk about a little bit later, with mining, agricultural, manufacturing, tourism, retail, education and health. Given the expected lift in population, the research has shown that there is a need to build 1,000 new dwellings each year in Rockhampton. Michael Matusik, a lot of this presentation and the facts come from Michael Matusik's reports. Rockhampton was slower to grow than the likes of Gladstone and Mackay. I particularly have helped clients buy properties in Mackay and Gladstone over the last few years, but I feel in particular Gladstone has gone too far, and Mackay has certainly done very well, but it's certainly heading that way as well. Rockhampton, on the other hand, has had very low growth and, in my opinion, is really ready for an upswing. Rockhampton's rental market is very tight, and demand for new properties is rising, as are property prices and weekly rents. Rockhampton is well positioned on the property clock. Having a look at the property clock here, we can see that Rockhampton has been positioned by Michael Matusik as on the upswing, compared to Mackay that has passed it and Gladstone that is at the peak. In my opinion, because those locations are quite close to each other and all being driven by the similar type of fundamentals, Rockhampton is definitely due for an upswing. Rockhampton has a lot of economic growth. At the moment, the hospital is going through a major upgrade. It's also got the lifestyle of the beautiful Yeppoon Beach, not far from Rockhampton. So as I've been saying, the research has indicated that there's a need to create up to 1,000 new dwellings every year. The market is currently undersupplied. The builders are not keeping up with that sort of demand. Anyone who knows anything about economics, when the demand is higher than the supply, prices rise. Particularly new detached housing relatively close to the centre of town is in short demand. It also has tourism and transport. There's over 950,000 visitors per year to Rockhampton. It actually equates to 1.8 million visitor nights per year. Guest arrivals are up 13%. There's over 700,000 airport passengers per annum, and it's growing by 20% as well. Some of the reasons to visit Rockhampton, once I had a good look around, it's just absolutely lovely. Lovely subtropical climate. This is the Botanical Gardens in Rockhampton. So also the demographics are very, very strong. There's currently 115,000 permanent residents. Future growth predicted at 2,500 per annum. 90% of the dwellings are detached houses, and 70% of the households are families. That very much points to the need for more centrally located detached housing. Rockhampton really isn't your unit type, apartment type location. It's very much a family-centred city. The economic growth, as we discussed earlier, there's $5 billion worth of economic value coming out of Rockhampton. It's one of Queensland's fastest growing economies. 8,000 local businesses, 5,600 new jobs created across the region last year alone, and 129 billion in investment projects planned or underway. One point there to note is that China accounts for only just 10% of the region's exports. Some people are worried that some of the Queensland destinations may decline in value if China declines. Rockhampton is only exporting a very small amount to China, so even if China does decline, it should not affect Rockhampton. Some of the employment statistics, and I don't normally quote every statistic on a location, but I do like this one because it points out that it's not overly mining driven. There's a lot of talk these days about the mining decline and the effect on housing prices in Queensland. As you can see here, down the bottom, only 10.5% of the industry is mining. The rest is professional and support, retail, health, education, construction, manufacturing, tourism, government and defence, transport and agriculture. So the very important thing about that is the economy and the employment is very, very well diversified. If mining takes a hit, it really will have little effect on Rockhampton. Rockhampton, I was just loved the historical buildings around the place. It had a beautiful mix between history and also new flash buildings. This is the main street of Rockhampton, which is very quaint, but also very, very nice. So a few more facts about Rockhampton. A lot of people view it as the capital of central Queensland, Bowen and Surrey basins, two of the world's best coal mining areas. Very great transport access. 23% of Queensland's exports originate in the Rockhampton area. Great subtropical climate, as I said, and the second largest CQ university in Australia. The real estate stats, as at time of this presentation, the vacancy rate was less than 0.5%. Weekly rents rising by 20% last year. New dwelling prices rising by 10% last year. Sales volumes are up. Very important, when sales volumes are up, that is a strong indicator of price rises coming. And as noted earlier, Rockhampton is very well positioned on the property clock. Yet it is still affordable. It's priced at 30% less than Gladstone and 15% less than Mackay. In summary, Rockhampton faces a shortage of rental stock, a rising demand for new housing stock, a swift rise in the number of properties selling, increasing rents, improving yields, and Rockhampton has just entered the rising stage of its property cycle. According to Rockhampton Mayor Brad Carter, the $5.2 billion economy ticks all the boxes and is recognised nationally as a growth centre, offering a diversity of business and lifestyle opportunities. Our region is perfectly located and linked as a critical exporter and service hub for central Queensland. This here is just a picture of the gardens in Rockhampton. As I said, Absolutely lovely location. Things like this is smack bang right in the middle of a suburb in the middle of Rockhampton. Basically, in my opinion, it's a fantastic investment area, so much so that I'm looking at buying several properties there myself. Thank you.